Hello. So today we are going to continue with electrochemistry. See, today I am going to discuss about the commercial cells and batteries. Clear? So we are going to discuss first about commercial cells and then we will discuss about the batteries. Clear? So see here, commercial cell. See here, what do you mean by commercial cell or batteries? So you have to understand. See, a cell is a device which converts electrical energy into which converts chemical energy into electrical energy, which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. See what happens actually, we are making a batteries or we are making a commercial cell. So these are the cells which they store inside chemical energy, and when on doing the reaction or when on connection, the redox reaction takes place, and due to the redox reaction there is a transfer of electron from the anode to cathode, and when the transfer of electron from anode to cathode, in between we put any load, so that load start to consume the electrical energy, and in this way we get the electrical energy. Suppose what happens in the commercial cells or batteries, we have first anode, clear, and here we have cathode, and what we do, we used to connect this. Okay, so when we connect and there is a chemical field here, so when there is a connection is done, so what happens, the electron get transferred from anode to cathode, and this we have discussed many a time. So electron get transferred from anode to cathode, and here if I put any load can be bulb, TV, refrigerator, camera device or television, anything, if I connect in this between this anode and cathode, so this starts to work, because here the electron get transferred from anode to cathode, and free flow of electron itself we say as a electricity. So here we are going to study in detail about certain device in the commercial cells and batteries. Now see, first example comes, what do you mean by battery? So see here, batteries are nothing but a number of cells when connected in series. When connected in series is known as battery. Clear? Is known as batteries. Okay, a single cell, see, please remember, single cell, like example, this is known as a single cell. Okay, a single cell is not an battery, please remember this. Okay, it's a very important word here. Battery means what? A single cell cannot be called as a battery. Number of cells when they are connected in a series, we get one kind of a arrangement, and that arrangement we say as a battery. So means a single cell cannot be called as a battery. Battery means it consists of a number of cells which are connected in a series or which are arranged in a series here. Clear this part? So please remember, what do you mean by batteries means when the number of cells when connected in series, they are known as a battery, and cells means what? They contain the chemical energy, and that chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. So you can principle also they can ask you, what is the principle of cell? So the question comes, principle of a cell can be, it is a device which is used to convert chemical energy into the electrical energy like an electrolytic cell. Okay, now a single cell we cannot say as a battery. Please remember this, a single cell cannot be called as a battery. If you have one single cell, so we cannot call it as a battery. Battery means what? Number of cells when arranged in a series, that arrangement itself we say as a battery. Now second point I hope you written this. Now batteries are of two types. Battery, one is primary cell, or we can say primary batteries, and another we have secondary cell or secondary battery. Okay, so what is the basic difference between these two? Very simple. Primary batteries or primary cell are one which cannot be recharged back. Once if they get exhausted, you throw it away. So they cannot be recharged back. Okay. So primary batteries are the battery which cannot be recharge or which cannot be regenerated back on supplying the electric current. Okay. Secondary cell are the cell which can be recharged back after the usage. Okay. So secondary cell are the cell which can be recharged back after the usage on supplying the electric current. So write down the definition. The primary batteries, write down. Please write down. The primary batteries or primary cell are one. Primary batteries or primary cell are one which becomes dead after the certain time of use, which becomes dead after certain time of use and cannot be recharged back on passing electricity or electric current, on passing electricity or electric current. Then you can write down the example as dry cell. Here the example will come as dry cell or mercury cell. Dry cell or mercury cell here. Okay. Write down the definition for secondary cell. The secondary cell are the cell or secondary cell or battery. Secondary cell or secondary battery are one which can be reused back. After the use, which can be reused back or recharged back, which can be reused back or recharged back after its use, after its use on passing electricity, You can write down lead storage cell, example here, lead storage cell or nickel cadmium cell. See, if I discuss here, see, at your home you know you have a clock, wall clock. In that wall clock you will say one cell. After 2-3 months your mother or your father will ask you to change that cell, or they will bring from the market, clock automatically will get stopped. Okay, so what we will do, we'll remove that battery and we'll throw it away and we'll fit a new cell. Means that cell which is used in your remote control, which is used in your watch, yes or no, which is used in your toys, these all are primary cells, because once if it is used, after that use, what you are doing, we are throwing. But see, if you are having a bike or if you are having a car, yes or no, or if you are having a scooty or like moped, so after 4-6 months, sometime what happened, your headlight becomes dim, cell up is not working properly. So sometime when you go to the mechanic say your battery has been dead, so you have to keep for the recharge. So what you are doing, you are taking the same battery which is in your bike, scooter or car, you are doing recharge, and again you start your bike or your car starts to work properly. Means that battery, it is that battery which was in your car or which was in your scooter or which was in your bike, they can be recharged back. So such a type of a battery which are used in a truck, which are used in a cars, which are used in a, bikes, that type of a batteries are known as a what? Secondary battery. If you see sometime your camera contains certain cell, and that camera people will be telling that cell can be recharged, it will be nickel cadmium cell. Sometime if you see white color cell will be there, on that white color cell nickel cadmium cell will be written. So in market also today in market, if you go to some consumer shop, or if you go to certain shop, you can ask the rechargeable cell. The rechargeable cell they will give you, and they will also give you the rechargeable port. Okay, so that you can recharge your cell. See, the best example nowadays, very common example, that is your mobile phone batteries. When your mobile phone batteries get dried or when it get drained, what you do, you keep in the charging and you sleep. Whole night the mobile battery get charged, and in morning you can use the mobile. So that mobile contains the battery. That battery comes under what? Secondary cell. Because once your battery is over, you can recharge through your charger. You are doing it to your charger. So that type of a battery is coming under a secondary cell. And the cell which is used in your toys or which are using in your clocks or which are using in your watches, that small button cell, that cell, once if it is used, they will throw away and you have to place a new battery there. So that only your work will be done. So that type of a cell we say as a primary cell. Okay, so what is the basic difference between a primary cell and secondary cell? Means a primary cell cannot be recharged back after this usage. Once it is used, we cannot recharge back, we cannot reuse back on passing the electric current, means you have to throw it away. And secondary cell of secondary battery means what? Secondary cell of secondary battery means once it is used, we can recharge back, and again we can use number of times. We can use a number of times the battery. Such a type of a cell is known as what? Secondary cell now. So in that primary cell we have very one important topic, and that topic is dry cell. So we will discuss now in detail about the dry cell. So you can make a heading you can make a heading about dry cell. See, here diagram I have drawn, that diagram itself is a dry cell. This is nothing but a what? This above figure. Figure is nothing but what? Dry cell. Clear? So, okay. So, we will see the first the construction. We will see the construction. So, in construction is very simple. What is the construction? We are taking one zinc vessel which is open from the top. Yes or no? You can see, there is a one zinc vessel which is open from the top, and that zinc vessel itself acts as an anode. Clear? So I am teaching your construction. Please focus here. This is a schematic diagram of a dry cell. My suggestion is you make a pause to the video and first draw the diagram and then continue it. Okay? So I hope we have drawn the diagram. Now see here. So construction, in that first point will come, you have to take a one zinc vessel which is closed from the bottom. So I am taking first point as zinc vessel which is closed from bottom. Yes or no? Now in this, what you have to do? In this you have to fill the paste of NH4Cl and ZnCl2, in which you have to fill the paste of what? NH4Cl and ZnCl2, and you have to push the graphite rod in that paste. You have to push the graphite rod in that paste, and around that graphite rod you have to fill the powder of MnO2 and carbon. You have to fill the powder of MnO2 and carbon, and from the top you can give a seal of a wax. Okay, and you have to put the graphite rod in such a way that it should not touch the bottom. So what you have to do? You have to take one zinc vessel which will act as an anode, and it is filled with a paste of NH4Cl and ZnCl2. It is filled with the paste of NH4Cl and ZnCl2. Now in that paste you have to put the graphite rod. You have to put what? You have to put the graphite rod, and this graphite rod should be surrounded by the powder of MnO2 and carbon. And this graphite rod should be put in such a way that it should not touch the bottom, and part of it should remain outside, which will act as a cathode. Who will act as a cathode? This graphite rod will act as a cathode. Okay, and from the top you have to make a seal of a wax or paper or anything. Okay, now this zinc, outer body of the zinc should be covered with the paper, but lower portion of the zinc should not be covered. So this zinc here will act as an anode, and graphite here will act as a cathode. Clear? The net cell potential of this dry cell is nearly about 1.25 to 1.50 volt. The net cell potential of this dry cell is nearly 1.25 to 1.5 volt. Clear? So understood the construction. In construction, what you have to do? You have to take a zinc vessel which is closed from the bottom, in which a paste of NH4Cl and ZnCl2 should be filled. Okay, and a graphite rod should be inserted. The graphite rod should be inserted in such a way that it should not touch the bottom. Now this graphite rod is surrounded by the powder of MnO2 and carbon, and this graphite rod should not touch the bottom and should be part of it. It should be remains outside, and this should be closed with a seal, okay, of wax or plastic. Now these sides of the graphite, like for example this is a cell, it will be circular portion, means this portion should be covered with a paper. Yes or no? But the bottom of the vessel should be kept open as it is, should not be covered. Okay, so this zinc vessel will act as an anode, and the graphite which is put as a rod will act as a cathode. So on zinc oxidation will occur, and here on this graphite rod reduction will occur. Clear this part? So I hope you understood the construction. Clear? Now what happens when zinc portion and when this graphite, when you connect together, so what happens when they are connected to a bulb or any load? This bulb will glow. So why this bulb is glowing? You have to see the reaction. What happens zinc here will act as an anode and this graphite portion will act as a cathode. So at anode oxidation occurs and at cathode reduction occurs. So as I told you, due to the redox reaction, the electron transfer gets from anode to cathode. So in between you have to supply what? In between you have to supply the cathode. So there will be a free flow of electron, and that free flow of electron itself we say as a electricity. So now we will see certain reaction of it which are very important and should be remembered. Which are very important and should be remembered. See here now. So I am taking here wires. Okay, I am taking here wires and I am putting the load. Bulb will glow if I connect the wire. So first we will see at anode. See at anode who is there? At anode we have zinc. Okay, and zinc will undergo what? Oxidation, because from the starting of the chapter itself I am telling at anode oxidation occurs and cathode reduction occurs. So zinc will undergo oxidation, Zn plus 2 electron. Clear? Now at cathode what occurs? At cathode I have MnO2. Yes, so this will react with here with NH4Cl. Now see here how to remember this reaction means here NH4Cl will get split and it forms what? NH4 plus and Cl minus. This NH4 plus will react with the cathode with the MnO2. NH4 plus. Clear this part? And here this electron will come here. So what happens? This reaction will take place. Now remember, at cathode who is there? MnO2. So MnO2 will react with NH4 plus. How I got the NH4 plus? From this paste. Okay. So this MnO2 will be converted into Mn2O3. Clear? This NH4 plus will be converted into NH3. Clear? Now here, how many oxygen I have? I have 2 here. But how many I have here? 3. How many Mn I have here? 2. So I will put here 2. Clear? Now how many oxygen I have? 3. How many oxygen I have here? 4. So where the oxygen is remaining, here the oxygen is remaining. So how many oxygen? 1 oxygen. So you know oxygen is balanced by H2O. When you balance the reaction, everything gets balanced. Clear this part? So this can be the reaction. Okay, this can be the reaction. If you balance the reaction also here 2, so 2 4s are 8 here. So here also 2. You can see here. Clear? Or I will add on the once more reaction. See. At anode, please remember these reactions. Zn will undergo oxidation. So Zn plus 2 electron. Clear? So see here, one thing more I want to tell. At anode who is there? At anode zinc I have, and zinc is undergoing its ion. So whenever metal if undergo its ion during the process, means it is getting rust. So slowly the zinc will get rust. As you know, Fe is forming what? Fe2O3. So means Fe is forming its ion, and whenever any metal is forming its ion means they are rusting. So here similarly see zinc during the reaction, zinc is forming its ion, means slowly zinc will be getting eaten up, means it will get rust. So at cathode we will see. At cathode what happens? At cathode I have MnO2. Yes or no? This MnO2 will react with what? This NH4 plus. How we got NH4 plus? From NH4Cl. So you got NH4 plus. Clear? And at anode electron liberation and at cathode electron gaining. Yes or no? So what reaction occurs? This MnO2 will be converted into Mn2O3. You have to remember this. Okay? MnO2 will be converted into what? Mn2O3. NH4 plus will be converted into NH3. Clear? Now we have to balance the reaction. How many Mn I have? I have 2 Mn. So I will put here 2. Yes or no? Now how many oxygen I have? 4. But how many I have here? 3. So where it is remaining here, here requires more oxygen. How many oxygen? 1 more oxygen. So oxygen is balanced by H2O. According to redox reaction, oxygen is balanced by H2O. Clear this part? Now again balance the hydrogen. So how many hydrogen I have? I have here 4, but I have here 5. So what I will do? I will put here 2. What I will do? I will put here 2. So I will put here 2 also. So 2 nitrogen balance. 2 4s are 8 hydrogen, and 2 3s are 6 plus 2, 8 hydrogen. Clear? So how many electron I should require? I require 2 electron to balance the charge also. Clear? So this is my net reaction. See here. How many Mn? 2 Mn, 2 Mn. How many oxygen? 4. So I have 4 oxygen. See here. How many nitrogen? 2 nitrogen. How many hydrogen? 8 hydrogen. What is the net charge here? So net charge here is 0. Here also net charge 0. So what is the number of electron get net electron transfer? How much? So net electron transfer is 2. Clear? Now if you see the product side, Now if you see the product side, in product side I will get Zn plus 2 plus Mn2O3 I will get, okay, and plus 2 ammonia I will get, and plus H2O. Yes or no? So this will be the net product. Clear this part? And here what I have Zn plus 2 MnO2 and plus 2 NH4 plus. So what happens when I see here the ammonia is a gas, yes or no? Ammonia is a gas. Now I'll ask you one thing, whenever you are using the batteries in your remote control, wherever anytime you feel that remote control is getting blasting or the cell get blast, okay, nothing will happen, yes or no? Cell will not get swell also. Here but the ammonia is a gas and gas will occupy certain volume, then according to this reaction, when ammonia is liberated, ammonia gas is liberated, means cell must be swell, yes or no? Cell must get swell, but cell is not getting swelling. Why? Because this ammonia, what it is liberated, it is reacting with this Zn plus 2, okay. So here ammonia, this is very important, keep on, okay. Ammonia liberated suddenly reacts with Zn plus 2 and forms complex, okay. So this ammonia, what it is formed? It is formed during the reaction, so no, when this battery is connected to the load, during the reaction ammonia is formed as a product. Ammonia is a gas. So in cell, during the reaction, it is not getting swelling or something blast or nothing will happen. Why nothing will happen? Because this ammonia, as soon as formed, is directly converted, it is reacted with what? This Zn plus 2 and forms a what? And forms a complex. One thing more I will tell, this ammonia will react with Zn plus 2 also, and you can see here Cl minus is also remaining. So what happens? This ammonia gas which is liberated at cathode will react with Zn plus 2 and Cl minus and forms a complex. And the complex formula you should remember, that is Zn NH3 twice Cl2. Or sometimes certain books, if you want to write down the complex formula without Cl, you can write down Zn NH3 twice plus 2. So this is the complex formed by the ammonia with the zinc. Clear this part? So you will be wondering that here ammonia, what it is obtained during the product side, in the cathode, this ammonia is a gas, yes or no? And gas means it will occupy certain space, and when gas occupies certain space, means cell will not get swelled up, nothing will happen to the cell, nothing blasting also will be there. What will happen? This ammonia will react with Zn plus 2 and Cl minus and forms one complex. So for complex formula is Zn NH3 twice Cl2, or certain books if you want to write down without Cl2, Zn NH3 twice plus 2. So these two formulas should be remembered. Sometimes they are asking as a question in the competition exam, okay, what is the complex form during the reaction of the dry cell. Clear this part? And the net cell potential is nearly 1.25 volt to 1.5 volt. Second thing, you see here this NH4Cl. Okay, this NH4Cl is nothing but an acidic NH4Cl. Now acidic NH4Cl, if you don't use the battery and if you keep as it is, this acidic NH4Cl will start to react and it will deteriorate the battery. Okay, so you can remember here one point, that NH4Cl being acidic, okay, here NH4Cl, I will write down here I will write down NH4Cl is acidic, hence it corrodes the zinc container. Okay, so if you are not using dry cell for a long, suppose if you bring the dry cell from the market and if you have not used for the long time, so what will happen? You know, this NH4Cl inside, what it is filled, it's nothing but an acidic. Okay, this NH4Cl is an acidic, it will start to react with zinc container and certain holes will be developed on the zinc container because Zn is forming a what? Zn plus 2. So on a long usage or on a long time keeping as it is, this NH4Cl which is an acidic salt, it will start to corrode the zinc container and it will, zinc container, some certain holes will be provided. Clear this part? So during the whole reaction, if you see this, zinc is getting consumed. Yes or no? So after the cell is over, the zinc will develop certain minute holes, and you have to use this due to zinc container develop the holes due to this formation of Zn plus 2 also, and due to the formation and the presence of NH4Cl also. Clear? Because this NH4Cl is acidic and it will corrode the zinc container. Point number 2. The dry cell actually is not a dry cell. Clear this part? What you are talking? See, the dry cell actually it is not a dry cell, because here what we have? We have pest. Yes or no? And pest is a bit moist. Yes or no? Moist means bit moist. I hope you understood moist word. Yes or no? So this dry cell actually it is not a dry cell. Actually it contains the pest. Pest means pest will be moist. Yes or no? The pest will be moist. So due to this paste only conduction takes place. If it was completely dry, instead of paste, if I would have taken the powder or something, the conduction would have not takes place. So remember this, the dry cell actually is not a dry cell, because it contains what? Paste of NH4Cl and ZnCl2, and this is a paste, and any paste if you take, it is a bit moist. Yes or no? Paste is bit moist. Due to this moisture, due to this moist nature of paste, the electrical conduction takes place. Okay, so this is your dry cell, which you can read from your textbook perfectly. Okay, the zinc is anode and cathode it contains graphite. So on cathode, who comes for the reaction? MnO2 and NH4 plus. So this NH4 plus comes from where? Cl minus. So Zn plus 2 electron, and at cathode I have MnO2 plus NH4 plus. So this MnO2 will be converted into Mn2O3, NH4 plus will be converted to ammonia, and if you balance reaction with oxygen, so one oxygen will be remaining here. So I am balancing with oxygen with water and balance the reaction. Now at the product side, when we see, we have observed that we get the ammonia, but during the reaction in a cell, if you see at your home, your cell does not get swell or something. Why? Because the ammonia, what it is formed, it will directly react with Zn plus 2 and Cl minus and forms one complex, and that complex is ZnNH3 twice Cl2 or ZnNH3 plus 2. This is very important for your boards or for your competition exam. Now this cell automatically get rust also on a long usage, because here NH4Cl is an acidic, hence it get corrode the zinc container. Net cell potential is 1.25 volt to 1.5 volt. The dry cell actually is not a dry cell. Why it is not a dry cell? Because it consists of paste. Paste of what? NH4Cl and ZnCl2. And paste of NH4Cl means, paste means what? Paste means anything which is a moist, and always a paste is nothing but a what? It is a moist thing. So means this dry cell actually is not a dry cell, because it contains what? It contains a paste of NH4Cl. So I hope you have understood. If any point is missing, you can please comment me. You can read from your textbook. It will be clear in detail about you. Clear this part. Now one thing more I forgot to tell you. The thing is, why it comes under primary cell. This is a one example of a primary cell. See, what do you mean by primary cell? The primary cell means a cell which cannot be recharged back on passing the electric current. Why? Why is it so? See here, because of here MnO2. Now if you see this MnO2, what happens? If you see this MnO2, this reaction is not possible back. Okay, this is irreversible reaction. Okay, if you see here MnO2, what is the oxidation number of here MnO2? MnO2 oxidation number will be here +4. Yes or no? And what is the oxidation number here? 3 to the -6 plus 3. Yes or no? So if you see here, MnO2 is going into what? MnO2 is going to Mn2O3. What is the oxidation number of Mn here? Mn oxidation number is +4, and here it is +3. So +4 to +3 reduction is occurring. Okay, Mn2O3 cannot be oxidized back to MnO2. MnO2 can be reduced to Mn2O3. That is, MnO2 +4 can go to +3 from MnO2 to Mn2O3, but Mn2O3 cannot be oxidized back. Please remember here one note: Mn2O3 cannot be oxidized back. Oxidized back. Okay, means here what happens? MnO2 is having +4 and Mn2O3 is having +3. So from +4 to +3 they can go. But and they can give the current, but on passing the current, see, it will MnO2 is going from Mn2O3. During this process I am getting the current. Now I am thinking reverse way. If I have now Mn2O3 after the process, if I pass the current, what? I will get MnO2 back? No, I will not get MnO2 back. So when MnO2 can be converted back into Mn2O3, and it will give the electric current, but Mn2O3 cannot be converted back into MnO2 on passing the current. Due to this reason, this cell comes under primary cell. Okay, so here why question can come, why primary cell, why dry cell is coming under the primary cell. So dry cell contain Mn2O3 as the main product, as the product. This Mn2O3 cannot be oxidized back. Mn2O3 cannot be oxidized back to MnO2 on passing the electric current. Due to this reason, this dry cell is a primary cell. Okay, so please you can remember this. I have told you most of the concept. If any concept is missing, please you can comment me, and you can ask me any doubt if you have in the comment box. Thank you.